Huddle up! It's time to get together and review the day. Oh yes, the morning huddle, team time, or the chart chat. Whatever you call it, many practices create time to review the clinical day ahead. On this episode of RDH Coast to Coast, Tina and Kim share their thoughts on this precious time and how to make the most of it. So friends, grab your headphones, take a deep breath, and learn how you can make the most of the morning huddle. Kim, we're back. Back.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, coming back together, it also reminds me of the times when we come back together with our team the next day. And I know a lot of places do like a morning huddle, team talk. I'm sure there's other terms for it. What about you, Kim? Have you heard of other terms or know people that do that? And do you guys do that where you're at?
So the morning huddle, I have done it. I have not done it. I have loved it and I have not loved it. So there's a rhyme and a reason to a productive morning huddle. And there is a rhyme and a reason to not huddle when it is not productive. And you're just, reiterating simple information that's really not helpful for the team. But I do see the value in a huddle in that it brings everybody together before the start of the day. You're all kind of feeling like you're on the same team. And you have an idea of what's going on in the office. So you feel more involved in the care that all the patients are getting and all of your coworkers are giving. Right now in my office, we do not do a morning huddle. And that is because we all start at staggered times. We have some that come in at 7:30, some that come in at 8, some that come in at 9. There's no time that we are all cohesively there in the morning.
Yeah.
How about you?
So where I currently am at, there have been attempts at doing a morning huddle. The problem with that we've been encountering with that is same thing, staggered start times, especially in the summer. We've got some people that will start at 7, some that'll start at 8, some that are there every day, some that aren't. And also the doctor starting at a different time than hygiene. Hygiene patients will start way earlier than, doctor patients because of where I live. That's okay. In the state of Oregon, we can do that. So that has been a challenge to be able to do that. Now, when I was working full-time, and the office that I worked with before he retired, we had every morning, we had a whole get together and we called it the chart chat.
That.
Right? Because we just were like, okay, like here's the day, this is the patient. And it was basically, I would go through my schedule and be like, okay, doc, we're seeing this patient, this patient, this patient. Their last exam was this. These are some of the things that we talked about last time. And then he would be like, oh, wait, but we also did this treatment since then. Or, oh, I ran into them at the grocery store and they said, hey, this tooth right here. And, having that kind of conversation. And then, the assisting team would also talk about what they experienced with the patient or any concerns, or front office would say, oh yeah, they called in. These are some of the other items that are going on, or, hey, oh, don't forget, their grandchildren got married or over the summer, kinds of those types of things, right? Very, very productive, made the day go very smooth. But when it is just like, okay, this person's coming in, it's like, okay, I could see that on the schedule.
Right. Or if you're simply, looking at the patient name and saying, well, they're just due for bite wings, those kinds of things. I think there are some excellent coaches out there that really teach the team how to huddle and how to huddle, to raise your production, or how to huddle productively, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Because it can bring a lot of value. It gives you a great platform to ask questions to the doctor about anything you see in the chart, instead of trying to, flag them down in the hallway before they come in to see the patient. So I do. And I also like that it brings the team together in the morning too, instead of just, Sally's walking in, she's in a room, and Jane comes in and she's in her room, and you don't get to see your team sometimes. So
right.
I did enjoy most of the time a productive huddle when I was doing them.
So, when you do that, you also have to come in a lot earlier, right? Because you
Correct.
have, if you're only there like one day a week or every other day, like how far in advance do you look at those charts to be able to see what's going on and make your notations with them? Or do you come in extra early in the morning to evaluate the day so that way you can have that conversation? What is your favorite approach to all that? Or how have you approached it?
So as being always part-time, I was never there the night before to go through my schedule. So I would always have to get in early. I would give myself even just 15 minutes to go through. If we were huddling at 7:45, I'd be there at 7:30, go through my charts, make my notes. And then, they wanted us in the room ready to go at 7:45.
Right. Yeah.
If some of my full-time coworkers, they would have the opportunity to go through their schedule the night before. So they could roll right in at, 7:45, ready to go.
Yeah. So for me right now, if we do a morning huddle, I come in one day a week. And so I do look ahead at the week, like who's coming in, but inevitably the schedule changes.
Of
And
course.
so that makes it a bit of a challenge for sure, to know exactly what's going on. So basically, I end up having to do it over again. So I stopped really doing a detailed review like the week ahead of time. So that I would say has been a bit of a challenge for me. So I have to come in extra early in the morning and go through the charts. Now, I will say, like, the old school part of me, I love my electronic charts. I do. But the old school part of me really, really misses the paper chart where I could just easily have them all stacked up, open it up, read it, close it, and move on instead of having to go click, 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 click. Because it feels like I go, okay, I got to click on the schedule and click on this. And there's no way to easily just go, okay, next patient, next patient, next patient. I add, if there is computer software dental charting companies, if there's a way, tell us, or please develop a way, because it will make life so much easier to be able to cycle through and go, okay, let's just go in order for the charts of the day to review them and see, especially, like, or when you're auditing at the end of the day, I like to do an audit of my charts, going double checking, did I sign them? Did I go through and reread them? Did I sign them? Did I miss something? Do I need to make a chart addendum or anything like that? It does help for that. So FYI, if anyone out there has an inside track, go for it.
Well, we do have a wonderful front desk person that goes through all of our charts at the end of the day to make sure everything's signed. And
Wow.
if they're not signed, you get a sticky note the next day with the name reminding you to sign your notes. Or if you forgot to write a note, she'll leave you a sticky with that as well. So
Like,
yes.
hey, don't forget to go check John Doe chart 4444, right?
They're not always written that nicely.
Is it more like, hey, ding dong, do your job?
Sign this and return and let me know it's signed. Yeah.
But I think that is another a great way to do a team huddle, right? As a reminder here, this is where we need follow up from the day before or from the couple of days before as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So would you say, Kim, you are pro morning huddle, chart chat, team time, or con negative?
I am pro chart chat.
Yeah.
I do like it. I really like this more so for the sense of team building that it brings and
Yeah.
knowing what's happening in the office and all being on the same page.
Yeah.
Because even still, like, say, hey, we're getting a big supply order. It's coming in this morning. If anybody has any free time, feel free to just jump in and put what you can away. It's little things like that you can bring up in those situations, that it's not like, oh, look, there's all the stuff still sitting there,
Yes, I agree. I too, I would say I am a fan of an effective one for sure. Like, if it's a meeting with a purpose, I'm all for it. But if it's a meeting just to meet, and because that's what we do, that's what we've always done, I would say go through, reevaluate it, and find out what is the true purpose of that time together and try to make it purposeful for sure.
Absolutely, because every minute is precious when you are watching the clock.
Yes. And speaking of minutes, Kim, I've enjoyed these minutes with you.
Yeah, I have to. I have to. And I hope to one day get to huddle with you.
Right. Until then, we will come back and huddle around next week. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you to our sponsor, Dental Post, the nation's largest dental job board. Be sure to check them out for different types of employment resources. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. And make sure you follow Tina and Kim on all the different social medias to learn other tips and tricks related to dentistry. Until next time, have a great day.